Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 24th of May, and it is 11 a.m. Central European Time. What a show we have for you today. Well, where do we start? We've had the approval of the Ethereum ETF. Why are we not at $100,000? I'm going to go through that very shortly in the show. We have a lot to cover. I've tried to break the show up a little bit more today because it's really centric around what's just happened in America. So today we have the markets, of course, the X-Files. Then we're going to do 3 charts at the start of the show. We're going to go through Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, the 3 main coins at the moment, explain where I think we're going to go. We're then going to look at the next ETF. That is the poll of the day. What is the next ETF? We have 3 choices. We have Solana, we have Chainlink, we have Litecoin, and maybe Dogecoin. They're the choices. So drop your comments into chat. Which one you think is going to be the next ETF after Ethereum? Is it going to be Solana? Is it going to be Litecoin? Is it going to be Chainlink? That's the outsider that's been mentioned over the last 24 hours. We're then going to go on to Howie Who, the Howie test. We spoke about this yesterday. CBDCs buy. In America, they have just outlawed CBDCs. We're going to go through what implications that will have on the markets. Another top 5 list from, I don't know whether we want to call them experts anymore, because most of them are either just copy and paste or the 24-hour gainers. But we're going to go through some top 5s. And then it's a Friday. I haven't done this for a few weeks. We normally do a little bit of a training day on a Friday. We've looked at different things before in the past. We've looked at DeFi Llama. We have looked at market cap of. We've looked at other things. We're going to go through DEX tools, and I'm going to pick out some coins and go through DEX tools and explain how it works. When people tell you to do your own research, I'm going to show you how you can do your own research. A few good mornings then. There's lots of people in chat this morning. Very excited people, I would imagine. We have hidden agendas. We have Bullish Bullies in chat. Danny is in chat. Fran, only you is in chat. Good morning to you all. And Velvet Rope is here again. Good morning to you all. I hope you're all well. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button. It helps the algorithm. Say something in chat. It also helps the algorithm. And bottom left-hand corner, we are just 20 followers away from 132,000. So stop what you're doing, put the coffee down, hit the subscribe, the follow, whatever button you've got in front of you, and give us a follow. It doesn't cost you anything. It is completely free. So that is the rundown of what we think today. Only you thinks that Chainlink could be, or Litecoin could be, the next ETF. It's a good one. I'm going to tell you what I think later on. First, let's go to the markets. $67,153 for Bitcoin. I know many of you, as I said, were expecting $100,000 Bitcoin, but there are foul beasts at play in the markets. And that really is to do with the fact that this is hunting season for the market movers and the AI trading bots. If we all know that we are going to the moon, if we all know that Gary Gensler, and by the way, that's the theme of the show today. I love you, Gary, is the theme of the show today. I've said some nasty things about Gary. I have called him a lizard man. I have called him Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. I've called him many names in the past. But first, he gave us the Bitcoin ETF, and he was the deciding vote. And now he has given us the Ethereum ETF, and he doesn't realize what he has done. So, I love you, Gary. I've said it on stream. There we go. Have we still got time to load up? Absolutely time to load up. We are certainly not going to moon for the next few weeks. There's lots of talk about price predictions for Ethereum. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. Good morning, Solo Sky. Kabir, no more ETFs. There's going to be loads of them. There's going to be loads of them. I don't want them. Peter, good morning. There's going to be loads of them. And that's the issue. I say this about NFTs quite a lot. When are there too many NFTs? I think there were too many NFTs 3 years ago, and we're still producing them, and it devalues the quality of them all the time. The same with printing money. There can be too many ETFs, but we will get onto that in a bit. So Where are we? We are down 3.5%. We're down to 2.5 trillion. The volume is back over 100 billion, 148 billion, up 54%. Bitcoin dominance 52.8%, Ethereum dominance 17.6%. Expect that to move around considerably in the next few weeks. We are going to see movements like we've never seen before. And off the top of the show, all I want to say is I will currently not be buying or selling anything unless there is a huge correction to the downside, because this market is going to be a tinderbox for the next week, 2-3 weeks. It's going to go crazy. Now then, 24-hour gainers. Ondo is up. Ondo is real world assets. That's a token that's going to do incredibly well. 1.5 billion market cap. That could moon over the next 3 or 4 years. Absolutely. Lido is up as to be expected. That is an Ethereum staking platform. Chainlink is up to $17. Monero, that's an interesting one. That's up again. Could that be linked to the fact that CBDCs have been banned? Aave is up. Gnosis is up. What losers do we have? Audi is down 11%. Bitenza is down 10%. Dog with Hat. Book of Meme. I've managed to say it right for the first time. Arweave is down. Injective. Pyth. Lots of losers today. Lots of 7 and 8% losers. Dupe. $1.11. What a bargain. Fetch is down 7.5%. Conflict. So lots of losers today and some winners. Now, we're going to start. Am I saying that even the rubbish flux will move too? Yes, everything floats. Now we have a bit of humour to start the show off with the X-Files. So, humour me. We're going to start off with a couple of little clips that I found rather funny on X last night. And the first one is Vitalik. Vitalik, if the SEC denies the Ethereum ETF. Obviously, I found this before it was approved. And there goes Vitalik flying through the air to land on Gary Gensler in a wig. So that's the first one. And then the second one. You know I like elephants, and you know I like trees. The SEC is the tree, and we are the elephant. And last night, we didn't just knock over the SEC. We managed to knock over the SEC and then scratch our bottoms on it. Why did we do that? Because the political pressure on the Democrat government in America has forced the SEC to toe the line. If we've got an Ethereum ETF, if it's a commodity, what purpose does the SEC have in cryptocurrency? The next thing, which nobody's mentioned yet, is I think that the XRP case is going to fall in the favor of Ripple in the next few weeks. Again, it hasn't been mentioned by anybody, and that doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It just means there is a likelihood that that case is going to be over. And this is just the confirmation last night at 11 o'clock last night. The SEC just approved the spot Ethereum ETFs. What a turn of events if it's really happening. Remember what I said on Monday when somebody said to me, what do I think is going to happen with Ethereum? I said Ethereum is going to come down to probably $2,400 because the Ethereum ETF is going to be rejected. Then next year, when we have a new government in America, we're going to see it approved. That's going to help the next leg up of the bull run. That was the plan. This has taken everybody by surprise, including poor old Ben Cowan, who has been crying over his cereal every morning and crying over his evening meals because he has been saying that the Bitcoin dominance is going to keep going and keep going and keep going, and Ethereum is just going to keep fading. Everybody said that, including the charts. But as I always say on the channel, don't just look at the charts, look at the macro. And the macro is that Joe Biden and his party want to appear to be pro-crypto, and they've applied pressure to the SEC. That's where we are. Now, Chainlink, one of those suggested that we could see as the next ETF. The first step is to package crypto into traditional financial products. The next step is to bring global finance on chain. The significance of the newly approved Ethereum ETF and why crypto is inevitable, and he gives a little talk down there. That is the founder of Chainlink. Very bright man indeed. And we're not going to read all of this out on here, but suffice to say, we are in a very good spot. A very good spot indeed. But I've got to be wary that we try and do the show in an hour. So I can't talk for too much. Do the ETFs are manipulating the markets? Have you noticed when Trump does rally, very nominated in energy, but when the old ghost Biden does, it's like a funeral. I think the biggest mistake that the Democrats have made so far is not asking Biden to step down and putting forward a younger candidate, such as Robert Kennedy. That would probably have won the Democrats the party, because Kennedy is more of a centralist Democrat. Biden, believe it or not, is a very left-wing Democrat. And to win this election, because the country's been polarized in America, you either move all the way to the left or all the way to the right at the minute. And because the economy is in such a state, you can't go to the left anymore. You have to go all the way to the right. So to win, you have to do what Tony Blair did in the UK and move to the centre and get the centre and the left vote. And he hasn't done that, and he's going to go up against Trump. And because of his age and because of his mental health, he's not going to win. He is going to get crushed. Now then, let's go very quickly then and have a look at some charts. I've decided to do the charts at the very beginning of the show simply because I can't. It's really difficult to produce a news show when all of the news is the same subject. So I'm trying to break it up as best I can today. So we're going to look at the charts. Now, you know, as well as I do, that I draw these charts and they don't really change from day to day. So if you've seen these charts, you'll know this is the same chart that I drew Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I don't have a crystal ball, but you know we came up to here because that happened on Tuesday. But you also know we came down to here. And look at where we are today. We are at the bottom of our range and this volume area on the right. Now, I'm not, Mystic Meg. I don't read tarot cards. I don't predict these things. I am also not a TA. I base things on previous price action. Now, you can go along here and you can find this level of resistance has now switched to this level of support. And yes, we wicked down beneath it, but we've held it so far. The price action and what's going on now, as I said at the start of the show, it's the market makers knowing that everybody is trying to long Bitcoin. Everybody and their aunt knows that now we have the Ethereum ETF, there's a very good chance we are going to see an $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. And I know that sounds really bullish coming out of my mouth. I'm not really bullish, but that's a 50% move for Bitcoin. It's not, it's not outside the realm of possibility. We're only in May. We have 7 months of the year left. We've just been given the second ETF of the year. It's like buses. We've waited 14 years and we've got one in January and now we've got one in May. So 2 in the first 5 months. What's to say we don't get the next ETF this year? What's to say we don't have 3 or 4 going into the election? And then Biden can stand there, wave his arms around, looking like somebody from Captain Scarlet, and say, look, we're pro-crypto. But I tell you something, he'll be pro-crypto now until he wins the election, and then all hell will break loose with crypto regulation, and they'll come down on it like a ton of bricks. So that's something to bear in mind, that it's a sheep in wolf's clothing, or a wolf in sheep's clothing even. Well, actually, in Biden's case, he is a sheep in a sheep's clothing, but there we go. So what does this mean? It means every time you go long, you will be liquidated by the market makers until they've had their fill. Let me go on to a smaller time frame and let me tell you what this means. Actually, maybe need to go lower. So every time we do this and come down, this is the liquidations of the longs. Okay. Now this morning we got back up, and what happened? We got liquidated again. So they're waiting for you to long, and they know the order book. They know where the liquidation heat map is, and they are trying to liquidate everybody. Because if I said to you today, where is Bitcoin going? Up. Okay. What are you going to do? I'm going to long. Now, a normal person would long 5x, 10x at most. Degens will do 100x, a 50x, and a 25x. And all of that is profit for the market makers. So they will smash you here. They will smash you here. They will smash you here. And they will smash you here. And they will take all of your profits, all of your money, and they will liquidate you until they've had enough. Now, we don't have that data to hand yet. We could go and dig it out, but it's very difficult to prepare. This show already takes 2 hours to get ready. So I don't have the time to do it, but tomorrow there'll be an article about it. We'll cover it in the studio, and we'll just tell you how much has been liquidated today and yesterday. It's likely to be hundreds of millions of dollars have been liquidated. That's hundreds of millions of dollars of profits for exchanges and the market makers. So if you're wondering why we're coming down and why we keep having these legs, it's the longs, because we've just been given the bullish sentiment. We've been given the fear and greed index of 80 plus. We've been given a $6,000–7,000 Ethereum, which we'll get to in a minute. We've been given all of this news, and you are running out and you're buying expecting this, but you're longing on a 25x, and the market makers are going, hang on a minute, just let me liquidate you. Bang, 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 sniped, all of you. So if you are longing Bitcoin, please do it responsibly. 5x. Are we going to come down any lower than this? That's the question. Well, we are at a solid level. We are at a really good level. And then we have a gap. Well, actually, we don't have a gap. We've got this one here at 68. And then up here, we're back at 70,000, or 69 at 8. So that's the next step up. Now, what will happen next is everyone's going to go, hang on a minute. If we keep longing and getting liquidated, it means the price is going to keep coming down. So what we're going to do is we're going to put shorts in. The market makers are going to turn around and say, right, now we've got $300 million in shorts. Bang. Liquidated. Then you're going to long. Bang. Liquidated. If you want to see that price action play out, go to any day of a Fed meeting and the Fed announcement on interest rates, and you will see huge green wicks followed by huge red wicks followed by green wicks and red wicks, and that is all of the longs and shorts being liquidated, and that's what's going on right now. They will play against your emotion at every turn. You cannot beat them. You cannot beat them. And the only way to win is to think, I'm going to go long on Bitcoin on a 5x at this price. My liquidation level might be 60,000 on a 5x. So I'm going to long at 67,000 and leave it. That's what happens. But greedy, impatient people will try and do a 25x long, and they've all been wiped out. And that is the massive issue. The remaining coins are too small to have an ETF for them. They're too small now, but they will get ETFs, and they will create ETFs, because BlackRock don't care about the size of the coin. BlackRock care about having a smorgasbord of ETFs, and that's the issue. And remember, you don't just have to have an ETF with one currency in it. You could have multiple commodities in there. So I'm on a long from 62k. I hope we don't get down there again, but I might still get in at 58. You know what? 62k long from here is pretty good going. Good morning, Reza. Welcome to the show. So there's your Bitcoin chart. I think We are at a good level of support at 67,000. If that gives way, 65.7. And again, we could wick down today. Again, we could see this kind of action along the way. That would liquidate even more longs and even more shorts. The question you've got to ask yourself is, are we going to see even more longs being liquidated? Because the more people that go long, the more the price will come down because they'll force it that way. But expect this volatility to fade away. And we are going to go to the moon. You just don't go straight to the moon. It doesn't happen that way. Now, again, with Ethereum, people are panicking that the price is retraced. Just let me point something out. On Monday, we were at $3,085 on Monday. We are at $3,650 today. We have had a 20% move. Remember what I said about the orcs. We have run into battle. Oh my lord. We have run into battle. Okay? On our own. Let me make this a bit bigger so we can actually see what I'm talking about. I managed to move the entire screen. And nobody's come with us. So what do we need to do? We need to hold our nerve. Let me go back an awfully long way. There we go. Right, we need to hold our nerve because look at where this bull market support band is. It is all the way down here. And yes, we've tested it, and yes, we've bounced off it, and yes, we've moved up. But we're a long way from home, Dorothy, and we need to just be careful. Now, having said that, and having said Ben Cowan is crying constantly, we also need to appreciate what's about to happen with Ethereum. And that is that Ethereum over the next 2 months is going to pull a Bitcoin move. And the Bitcoin move it's going to pull is going to force the price up. Now, we have some targets on the chart. Let's go to the daily just to show you what I'm talking about. So, all-time high of Ethereum is coming in at $4,800. Okay? It's gone. We're there. $4,800 is already marked in. Why? Look at the Bitcoin look at the Bitcoin ETF. We got to an all-time high before the halving for the first time ever. And everyone's scratching their heads. Why has that happened? It happened because we had the ETF. Imagine that you have a football stadium and it holds 10,000 people. And you get 9,000 people a game. That's what the market was like before the Ethereum ETF. Now, imagine they build 500 sets of apartments around the stadium and they increase that stadium capacity to 50,000 and suddenly you're getting 30,000 a game. That's what's happening with Bitcoin and that's what's about to happen with Ethereum. So you have to take the price of Ethereum and inflate it by a percentage that you think matches what's happened to Ethereum with the ETF. So we can no longer rely on the chart. We can for giving us some significant targets. The first significant target is $4,000, previous price action. The next one was the first April-May all-time high, 4,400, then 4,800. These are key markers. I'm not saying we're going to do this. What is likely to happen, in my opinion, is we're going to wobble around and we're probably going to bounce, bounce, bounce. And that final bounce there will be $5,000. And when we break $5,000, we are likely to test $6,000 because they are the psychological barriers for Ethereum. Now, I've said many times, In this bull run, we could look at an $8,000 to $10,000 Ethereum. I think it will hit a five-digit number in the bull run without the ETF. With the ETF, all bets are off. We could see $12,000, $14,000, $16,000, $20,000 ETF. Now, that's also going to add to the Bitcoin price as well. They work together. They are the two biggest assets. 70% of crypto is in those two assets. And I've said all along that BlackRock doesn't want half the pie, which is Bitcoin. It wants all of the pie. And all of the pie is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. It wants them all. Now, I appreciate what Kabir is saying in chat, where the coins are too small. The coins are too small today, right? And I take that point on board. Let's go back over here for a minute. I don't really have a plan for the show. As I said, everything's about this. Now, BNB is 87 billion. Solana is 74 billion. Ethereum is 438. Bitcoin is 1.3 trillion. The problem is that you are looking at the size of the market and basing it on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a top 10 global asset on its own. Look at other commodities. Look at the market caps of other commodities. Bitcoin is more than silver. It's going for gold. Now, to get to gold, it needs to do, what is it, a 10x, or it needs to get to $1 million or something like that. So if you do like-for-like comparison and say, well, Solana isn't where Bitcoin is, of course it isn't. Bitcoin is the 8th largest asset in the world. So nothing's going to be near Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean it can't have an ETF. What I'll do, maybe for tomorrow, maybe for next week, I will go and get some other market caps of other ETFs, just so you can see. Solana, at some point in the very near future, is going to break $100 billion. Now, if you look at the price, it needs to do 30% pump. 30% pump on Solana takes it to $210, $215. We're there already. It's 3 pumps away. So Solana is going to be an ETF. Look at the price that people are willing to pay at Grayscale Solana Trust, $430. For argument's sake, let's call that a 3x. So if you 3x the price of Solana today, you're at 220 billion, half the market cap of Ethereum. It's going to have its own ETF. The question is, and the poll that I've asked today is, which ETF is next, Solana, Litecoin, or Chainlink? 81% of people have said Solana. That's probably the answer I'm going to go with. But what comes next? XRP is going to have an IPO. Not an IPO on the XRP coins, but an IPO for the business. Dogecoin, is that going to have its own ETF? It would be crazy to have its own ETF, but there are other things that have ETFs that I can't mention on the channel because they involve substances and I can't mention them on here. They have their own ETF. So if you can get something which is a substance that makes you high have an ETF, why can't you have a Dogecoin ETF? I'm not saying we should. I'm saying, why can't we? Toncoin, no. Again, Cardano, Avalanche, again, no. Chainlink has been mentioned because it's got real-world assets. Chainlink is going to rip, in my opinion. So let's get back to the charts. So Ethereum, in my opinion, has a couple of obstacles along the way. 4,000. It's May 21 all-time high. Then 5,000 and its previous all-time high. They are the targets I am looking at. Anything down here is chop. And at this moment in time, I don't care. Because everything that's in here is the market trying to shake you out. Okay? Solana is mostly memes and gaming, currently mainstream. We'll see this like a GameStop meme, so no ETF. I do not agree with that, Kabir. The reason I don't agree with that is my theory is Ethereum is going to become the TradFi blockchain, BlackRock and banks. Solana is going to become the retail blockchain. Games, memes, rainy day funds for your Christmas where you can put $50 a month away in somewhere. Tell me this, where can you put your money right now in crypto that makes you money without costing you money to stake it? You can't really use the layer 2s on Ethereum. They don't really have it set up for that. You can't use Ethereum. Avalanche, no. Cardano, no. The only blockchain you can go to with $50 or $100 a month and stake it and earn 10 or 12% is Solana. We talked about Jupiter 2 days ago. What are they doing? They are creating this thing called GUM, which is the global unified money, where they're going to bring real world assets to Solana. They are going to bring traditional finance to Solana. They are going to build out DeFi. They are going to build out the entire ecosystem of Solana. It's not happened today. It will happen in a year or two's time. You can't look at a chain and say, this is what it's doing today. You need to look at a chain and say, what is it doing in the future? Solana is going to be retail, and Solana is going to have a $300 or $400 billion market cap because that's where retail is going to go. Ethereum is priced out. Look at restaurants. If you walk down Bond Street in London or Soho in New York or wherever it's called in New York, they are charging you $70, $80, $90 a plate. Rich people go there, not the likes of you and I. That's what Ethereum is. It's Bond Street. Solana is your Chinese takeaway, your Indian takeaway, your Italian, your Spanish food, the food that you can have on a weekly basis. It's where you can go and not get ripped off. It's your local pub. It's the place, it's your local cheap Aldi supermarket. That's what Solana is. And that's not fading Solana. We need that. Ethereum is not that. Ethereum is the upper class place where the rich people dine. And we're not allowed in there. It's the same way in traditional finance. You can't go and get a portfolio manager if you've got £10,000 in the bank. But you can if you've got $1 million. And that's what the difference is between the two. I've done the unthinkable and gone against my beliefs and senses and bought $500 worth of flux for a joke. If you keep swearing in your comments, Peter, I can't read them out. So then why should we not buy Sol and hold for 5 years? As it sounds in about 5 years, it could go over $1,000. Yes, it won't take 5 years to go over $1,000. It has the momentum behind it. To get a crypto ETF, you have to be established, in my opinion. They want a share of big money, not now, in 5 years' time. Yes, agreed. And I think it... Right. 2 years ago, who was the biggest, baddest lion in the jungle when it came to anything not Bitcoin? It was Ethereum. DeFi, NFTs, activity, layer 2s. What else did it have going on over there? I mean, it had its own, it had a DeFi summer going on. It had Uniswap. It was the boss. We're 2 years down the line. Every metric that you can look up, Solana is outperforming Ethereum. Now, that doesn't mean Solana is going to flip Ethereum. It's not, because Ethereum charges more, it makes more money, it can pay developers more, it can build out more. Solana is cheap and cheerful. And that's why, right, the investors don't care whether it's a meme coin or a game. They care if they can make money out of holding that token. As Peter said, why don't you just buy Solana and hold it for 5 years and sell it for $1,000? Well, first of all, you need to carry out correct portfolio risk management. You can't just buy one token and hold it. It doesn't work that way. Solana could have a fundamental flaw and bring it to its knees. Now, you should have, if you don't, you should have some Solana. See that segue there? Look at that segue. That was professional. The next chart is Solana. Now, again, we've drawn this line, and this line is being followed pretty much as expected. Solana is going to approach $200 again. Now, remember what we said. To get over $100 million market cap, it needs to be $213. We've bounced off $200 at the end of March. We then had our slump. We retested the bull market support band. We've come up. We've fallen below the 174. We could come down and test 150 if we keep getting shook out. Remember, Solana is big enough now for people to get liquidated on. So people are longing and shorting on Solana. That's causing the price to move a little bit more erratically. So we could come down. Again, we could come down. This is the daily, remember. So the most important thing, Solana has been putting in higher lows since October, September. So we've got 7 months of it doing this. At some point, irrespective of where the market goes, we're going to get back over $200. Then the target is $249, which is all-time high. So we're going to reach all-time high more than likely on Solana in the next 3 to 6 months. I can't say because I don't know what this news is going to do to the market, but we're going to get there. We've come through this huge trough down here and we've come out the other end. And we're now approaching $200. An interesting question from Exhale. Crypto noob here. Does anyone know how to convert art into NFT to sell on MetaMask? Funnily enough, exchange art. I am going to digress to show this because it's a quick thing. This is one of the... There we go. 1 second. Exchange Art is a place for artists, independent artists who can go and sell their own works of art. So don't think about selling it through MetaMask. MetaMask is just a wallet. You need to find a place to sell. And it is there. So go and check them out. Exchange Art is the answer to your question. Good morning, Tariq. Welcome to the show. So for me, Solana, next big target, $250. We've got to get back above 174 to 201, and then we can have a run at 230. Tariq, it's fine. The show is a bit different today. We haven't done any news. The reason we haven't done any news is I've thrown all the charts in at the start of the show. Okay, I mean, it's 11:38. I'm not going to finish this show at 12 o'clock today. Right. So this crypto asset could be the spot ETF candidate after Bitcoin and Ethereum, according to Brian Kelly. So let's see what Brian Kelly has had to say. So my money is on Solana. I think who was in chat? Only You has said Litecoin Chainlink, and Kabir doesn't want any more. That seems to be the gist of it. And according to the vote, 79% have said Solana, 5%, which I believe would be Tariq, is saying Litecoin, and Chainlink is 16%. So where are we? The founder and CEO of an investment firm specializing in digital currencies is looking down the line for the next ETF. So he said that obviously we know about the Ethereum ETF. What does he have to say? I think you've got to think about Solana as probably the next one. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Now we have some clarity about what a security is and what it isn't, and they'll be able to list a lot more crypto, which means a lot more trading for them. So I think they're the biggest beneficiaries from the change that's gone on. According to Kelly, this crypto landscape in Washington, D.C. is shifting rapidly. In general, what this has done is change the landscape for crypto. In May, Trump was asked a question about crypto. He said, if you want crypto, vote for Trump. That clip went viral and actually changed things in Washington. We saw multiple votes over the last several days that were pro-crypto. The president has said he was going to veto these, and he backed off. So Brian Kelly thinks the next one up is Solana. I agree with him. Tariq, why did you say Solana? You're the Litecoin maxi of Crypto Warehouse. You can't come in to chat, have a vote that has Litecoin in it about becoming the next ETF, and then voting for Solana. That's a fair weather fan of Litecoin if I ever saw one. Right, so we're going to move on quickly. So he thinks Solana, I think Solana. Even Tariq, the Litecoin maxi in chat, thinks it's going to be Solana. So I think we can safely say it's more than likely going to be Solana. Now, this, the FIT21 bill, I gave up. Don't give up. I was buying Solana at $12, $20, $25. I remember being on the stream telling people that we're going to hit $50, $75 and $100. I was there buying Solana at those prices. I never gave up. And that's why Solana is on such a rampage, because the people in Solana never gave up. Don't give up, Tariq. You can convert to the dark side. However, you can become a Sol maxi and not a Litecoin maxi. That is allowed. That's just basically seeing common sense, really. So Howie Who, the US crypto bill, defines decentralized networks. Now this is what I was talking to Kabir about a few days ago, that the Howie test is not fit for purpose with crypto, and they've come out with a definition that I wholeheartedly agree with. Believe it or not, decentralization has served as crypto's North Star since its beginning, but with Wednesday's passage of a crypto market structure bill, the concept could soon become enshrined in law. Now this is technology for the 20th, and that's commodities. For those that don't know the difference, shares are normally shares in a business that generates money. Commodities are normally things that you dig out of the ground. Gold, silver, oil, coal, whatever you want it to be. Also, I think pigs and things like that fall under commodities. Bitcoin is proof of work, it's mined. Litecoin is mined. Dogecoin is mined. So you have a digital version of mining, which is a commodity. So they're very easy to pass the Howie test and be called a commodity. Crypto isn't, and it doesn't fit in the Howie test properly, because most of it is, I still think a lot of crypto, I'd say 95% of crypto is a security, and only really about 5% is decentralized and autonomous enough to be what I would consider to be a commodity. You know, we've got companies like Ethereum. Ethereum has a head. It has a structure. Ethereum, in my opinion, it's a security. Bitcoin isn't a security. I know Charles had a rant yesterday about Ethereum. He went in and he just tore them to pieces. They are not, in my opinion, a security. Cardano is, in my opinion, a decentralized commodity. It's not the same. They're apples and pears. And again, we have to be very careful with these things. Now, luckily, they have given some definitions. So, a decentralized network is, and who its affiliated persons are, actions taken by said affiliates, which could be the issuers of a token, of those that at least 5% of the supply are critical to determining under the bill just how decentralized a network really is. Now, it mentions 20% here. Here we go. Focusing on the distribution of a crypto asset. It wouldn't meet the requirements if an affiliate owns 20% or more of its overall supply. That same 20% threshold applies to the overall voting power of a digital asset by the affiliate. So, again, now we have some clarity. What does this mean? If you have a cryptocurrency, like, let's pick one randomly, Dogecoin. If Dogecoin, which is mined, forget that bit for a minute. If Dogecoin had a holder that held 35% of all the tokens, it wouldn't be considered under this bill as being a decentralized cryptocurrency. That's their definition. Now, this is going to create a shift in the way that crypto assets work. And there are ways and means around it, but we're not going to get into that now. So, many networks hover at 20% threshold for control of ownership. Most new networks aim for decentralization over time, but their developers and investors often begin with an outsized influence. When we do our crypto reviews, we look at the tokenomics. And a lot of people think, oh, that's boring. What's all that got to do with anything? We look at tokens where 40% of the supply is held by the team and held by the VCs. Nyan Heroes, 40% of the tokens are held by the team and the VCs. Does that make it a security? Yes. In my opinion, absolutely. So you have to have these definitions, and projects have to adhere to them. You can't launch a token, sell it pre-sale, take the money, build a business, and then reward token holders with profits, because that's a digital share. There's no difference. It's a workaround to get around all of the securities laws. And believe it or not, I'm on Gary Gensler's side with this. So we have to be careful, and we have to define what things are. But the point is, the FIT 20 is needed, and I'm very happy that it's now coming in. We need regulation and adoption. This is regulation. So that's bullish news, even though it will cause some assets to become securities. They need to work a way around that, and they need to make sense out of it. Now, the House of Representatives halts the federal government's plans for a CBDC. Why is this important? CBDCs, in their nature, are a good thing. They can remove fraud from a system because people print fake dollar bills, fake euros, fake pounds, all that kind of stuff. And they get rid of all of that because it becomes immutable. The money becomes immutable. You can't just create it out of thin air. It's created out of thin air by the central bank. Where there's a problem is where you have governments abusing the power. And that might sound like tinfoil hat nonsense to you, which is fine. You're allowed, everybody has their own opinion. But think of it this way. I become the president of the United Kingdom. I'm not a prime minister anymore. I'm the president of the United Kingdom. And I decide to freeze all of the bank accounts of all of my opposition MPs. So they can't receive donations, they can't receive funds, they can't do anything because I've become a dictator. I don't want that to happen. You could say, that sounds like utter nonsense. And I would say to you, look at what Justin Trudeau did in Canada, where he froze the bank accounts of all the trucking companies so they couldn't receive donations to keep themselves going. It happened in Canada, it happens in China. Again, I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat, I'm telling you facts. If this comes in and it is not done properly, it is open to abuse. If it is done properly and there are safeguards in place that do not allow anybody to freeze your accounts, then it is a good thing. It all comes down to abusing the power that you have at your fingertips. And we all know governments are very good at creating panic to bring in laws. So the CBDC was not successful. 216 to 192, they lost. It falls under, I mean, it's incredible. The bill was championed by Tom Emmer, who is, believe it or not, one of the good guys. It bars central banks from leveraging CBDCs to conduct monetary policy. So all in all, this is a good thing. Now remember, this is a sea change in America. This is a sea change for the government because they have ignored crypto for so long, and they have if they'd have just let crypto carry on, if they hadn't have been so anti-crypto, it wouldn't be an election point. It wouldn't be an issue that Donald Trump could win votes on. But they've made it an issue. That's the problem. They've made it an issue. And by making it an issue, they've made it something where they're going to lose votes. And I don't know if you've seen the papers, but Biden is the most unpopular president in history. He's also losing in the polls by a greater percentage than any president in history. He's going to lose this election by a landslide. And it's all down to, it's not just crypto, it's everything. It's like they have fallen out of the common sense tree and hit every stupid branch on the way down. That's what's happened. Every possibility they had to do the right thing, they've done the wrong thing. The only things they have done right which is paying off student debts and things like that, which is fine, has just printed more money to keep inflation high, which then punishes everybody by making McDonald's put their prices up by 50%. So who suffers? The poor people, the working class people. Who are the Democrats supposed to represent? The poor people and the working class people. So by trying to help, they've just made it exponentially worse. And they can't see the wood for the trees. They should have done it over a period of 10 years and paid off an amount, a sustainable amount every year for 10 years. Not all of it in one go. Billions and billions of dollars. It's incredible. Now, we're going to move on to something that doesn't involve ETFs. And we're going to start to talk about some coins that could potentially 100x. Now, I did get a question in here that I haven't got to, and I wasn't ignoring. That was from Peter. In fact, it's disappeared. Where is it, Peter? Oh, here we go. So Peter asked a question. Will coins under $300 million market caps do a 20x? No. And yes. Not every coin under 300 million will do a 20x. Some coins will, and that's why you diversify. If you pick 10 coins under 300 million and you expect them all to do a 20x, it's not going to happen. Some will, and those will be projects that, in my opinion, are going to be trending topics. So AI projects, real world asset projects. At this moment in time, anything related to Ethereum has a very good chance of 20xing. I covered Stacks 2 days ago, I think 3 days ago. Stacks have announced that they're working on a restaking solution for Bitcoin. So anything that involves tapping into DeFi in Bitcoin in a safe and secure way will 20-30x. Some gaming tokens will 20-30x. But you can't. It's like you're asking me to pick the winners of the next 8 races. I can't. What I can do is I can look at the track record of the horses and say that's a good bet. So some of the tokens that you've told me to look up, Aero, for example, which sits on a layer 2 of Ethereum base, that's going to do exceptionally well, because when Ethereum floats, the layer 2s float, and then everybody that piles into those layer 2s spend money on them, buy tokens, sell tokens, whatever it might be. So Aero is going to do big numbers. Ondo, which we talked about before, a real world asset project, is going to do big numbers. So find a narrative, or find narratives that are going to be big news in the next couple of years. Those tokens are going to do incredibly well, and you're going to get a token that will go from 200 million to 10 billion in this bull run, and it will 50x. But there will be tokens that are at 300 million today that will get to 900 million in the bull run, and they'll only do a 3x. That's why you should diversify. So top 5 booming crypto to buy for the 100x potential Ethereum ETF takeoff. Let's see. We've not had a good track record of these. Some of them have been garbage. Some of them have been okay. The one we had yesterday, as Gibe pointed out, he picked the top 6 coins. Fair enough. It's still a good list. For people new to crypto, if they're watching this stream and I go through the article and I say they are 6 good tokens to hold, I'm not necessarily giving them terrible advice. It's when you're telling people to buy Ponk or put 50% of your portfolio into Dog with Hat. That's when it's dangerous. So there is a certain level of responsibility in going through these articles, because these are the articles that you're going to look up. You're going to type in best 5 tokens to buy 2024 and you're going to find this article. So I have to go through them and critically assess whether I think they're legitimate or not. So the SEC has shifted its stance on Ethereum. What tokens should you be looking at to get in on the action? So let's go through them. First of all, Solana. I think it goes without saying we should be looking at Solana. Absolutely. If you don't hold Solana, what are you doing? You should hold Solana. There are some safe bets, not financial advice. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, BNB. BNB is at all-time highs and nobody is talking about BNB. BNB is at $600. Its all-time high is $610. There's no article about BNB being at all-time highs. It's being ignored the same way it was ignored in October and November last year when I said this is going to rip, and it was at $200 then, and it's 3x'd since I was talking about it. Polygon isn't talked about enough. It's at 74 cents. It should be over $1. It's the biggest layer 2 on Ethereum. So there are coins that don't fit the narrative that are still going to do big numbers in the bull run. Solana, absolutely. That is going to do big numbers, especially in DeFi. DeFi and what Jupiter wants to offer with GUM, which is the, what have I said it was, general unification, something or other. I don't know what crap it's called now. So Solana is going to do incredibly well. XRP, absolutely. The second that court case is closed, and I talked about this yesterday, what are the Biden government trying to do? They're trying to look pro-crypto. What are the two things that we've talked about the most on this channel in the last 4 months? We've talked about ETFs and we've talked about the XRP case. We've now got a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. This court case is going to be over and XRP is going to be game on. Now, I said yesterday, $1 to $1.40, not $600. It will move and you will have missed it. And that's the thing with crypto. You don't see it coming because they're not going to tell you it's coming, and then it happens. And then you're sitting there thinking, why have I not got XRP? It's 3x this week. And then it goes on its parabolic run to catch up the market. Remember, Solana was depressed because of its association with FTX. It went to $12. It's now at $160. It's 13x'd in a year. XRP has been suppressed by this court case for the last 3 years. Now, it's not going to go to $10 today, tomorrow, because its market cap is huge, but it is going to break $1 and it could break a $1.50. What do I know? But XRP's court case is going to come to an end. I guarantee it. Dog with hat. Why is this here? It's a $3 billion meme coin. So why is it here? What reason has he put in here? Okay. The surge has allowed investors to multiply their investments substantially, potentially achieving a 100x. Despite its success, the WIF price is $3.12. So let's just clarify something here. This is why these articles are dangerous. So a 100x, that's what it's talking about. Now, Solana isn't going to do a 100x. XRP isn't going to do a 100x. Dog with hat is probably not even going to do a 2x. So this shouldn't be included in the article, in my opinion, and it's irresponsible to include this in the article. He's got you here by telling you that you're going to get 100x. So that's enticing you in. Solana may do a 5 or 6x. XRP could very well do a 10 to 15x in the bull run. Dog with hat is already at 3 billion. Where could we see that go? Could it go to 10 billion, 12 billion, maybe a 4x potentially? So why are you investing in a meme coin when you have other more substantial assets to buy? That's where the danger is in articles like this. Lido absolutely is going to rip up trees because it is the staking platform for your Ethereum. You stake your Ethereum with Lido. They give you a wrapped version and you earn. That's important. So Lido, absolutely. I totally agree. I don't hold any Lido. I'm not going to hold any Lido. Why would I hold Lido when I hold Ethereum? That's another thing to bear in mind. Is Lido going to outperform Ethereum? Probably because it has a lower market cap. Do I want to take the risk of having a bag of Ethereum and a bag of Lido and a bag of Polygon? It makes me very Ethereum heavy. So no, I'm not going to pick it for that reason. But It's as a project, it's excellent. Polygon Matic, again, one of my underperforming stars. It's emerged as a pivotal player in enhancing Ethereum. We know about that. It's got side chains, it's also got the AG layer, and it's massively undervalued. Matic has shown a remarkable uptrend. It's gone up 16. Why is he mentioning that? Why is he mentioning this? That is totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant to this article. It's been around for 5 or 6 years. Nobody cares about its 16,000% growth since it launched. Polygon will hopefully do a 10x in this bull run. And I think it might do more because remember, it's a layer 2 on Ethereum, so it will benefit from Ethereum going up. We could see it breaking double figures. Maybe it goes to $10, $12. Can Matic do a 20x? Believe it or not, I'm actually going to say yes to that. I think it can. Clickbait for Peter. Absolutely, Kabir. It is clickbait for Peter. Solo Sky, thank you. Bottom line, investors are closely watching Solana XRP Doge. Who? How do you know that? How do you know investors are watching those coins in particular? Who wrote this, by the way? Who wrote this? CoinGate staff. Or is it CoinGate staff? Who knows? Right. Again, I use these as talking points. Anybody you see tell you these coins are the ones to buy, top 3 coins, top 5 coins, and they just give you a random selection of coins, then they're just sitting there on a Thursday afternoon thinking, I've not finished my article yet. I need to knock out an article by 5 o'clock. I'm just going to throw a dart at my crypto dartboard and I'm going to put those 5 coins into an article and then put at the bottom line, everybody's watching these coins. These are the coins to watch. Go and watch these coins. There's no substantiation in this article. And this is why I berate them. Because although this is actually quite a good article, 4 out of 5, in my opinion, are very good, he shouldn't have put in dog with hat. Because if you're going to pick a meme coin, you should be looking at an older meme coin that's built itself out like Bonk or SHIB. Not dog with hat, which does nothing. Ran to 5 billion. He's not mentioned that in this article. It went over 5 billion, so it's retraced 40%. He doesn't mention that in here. It went over $5, I think, or nearly $5 as well. So I berate them because to a newcomer in crypto, they'll go and buy those 5 coins. And yes, the issue is that everything floats, and I'm not talking about it. Everything floats with the market. Now, I am going to spend 5 minutes. Peter, you can't just go and buy a coin because I say it's going to do a 20x because that's financial advice, and I don't give financial advice, Peter. I can't tell you whether that is legitimate or not. But what I can do is I can show you somewhere where you can go and check out coins. Now, I don't have an affiliation with Dex Tools. I am not sponsored by Dex Tools. They have never paid me a penny. I use Dex Tools all the time to look at tokens. So, let me give you an example. Let me see if I can find you. What are the tokens that I've looked at recently? Well, let me find a better token, actually. Let me find what I can actually... Let's look up Bonk. Is Bonk going to be in here? It should do. There we go. Right. So, I say to you, go and look at this coin. And I give you this coin name. And you've never heard of it. You don't know who it is. You don't know why Mike is gone off on talking about orcs again and talking about whatever. And he tells me to look at Bonk. Right. If there is one place to look at to get all the information you need about a coin, it is not CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. It is Dex Tools. Because everything you need is here. We don't need to see the chart. You can get the chart everywhere. But there is a side panel on here to look at the token. Now, it gives you the market cap. Fine, irrelevant. Total supply and circulating supply. you see those two? The total supply is 93 trillion. Circulating supply is 67 trillion, with a total circulating supply of 72% for this token. What does that mean? It means roughly a third of all tokens are not in circulation. So expect a 33% inflation on that token. So as far as Peter's concerned, if you buy one bonk and you hold it until the circulating supply becomes 100%, that one bonk you hold at this price will have lost about a third of its value if the market cap doesn't change. I hope that made sense. Then you also have liquidity. If there's no liquidity on a coin, you can't sell. Or you can sell, but you will be accepting a lower price than is available on the market. So liquidity is important. Look at the number of people holding the token. In this instance, 731,000 people hold this token. Does that make it decentralized? In my eyes, absolutely. I'm going to look at another coin in a minute to show you a comparison, by the way. So this is to try and give you an insight into why I review the tokens the way I do. So I'm looking at circulating supply, I'm looking at holders, I'm looking at liquidity, I'm looking down here. When was the pool created? 21st of February 2023. When did I review this token? About March last year, and I panned it. Tremp, I'll bring up Tremp, yeah. I panned this coin. I said it had no utility. I said it was a waste of time. Don't go near it. Why? Because these figures on the left look nothing like they do now. It was too early, in my opinion, for people to go and YOLO into a coin. And I was right for almost a year. It didn't move for a year, and then it ripped. So pool creation, circulating supply, that's what you look for there. Now, down here, you have a DEX T-score. And this is based on an accumulation of information that DEX-T has built up about the project. We also have audits on the left-hand side where you click on it and it will show you that Quick Intel has carried out an audit. Has the contract been verified? Yes. Is it a honeypot? No. Is it mintable? No. What does that mean? It means they can't go out and create new tokens. Has the contract been what's the word for it? Renounced. That's another one to look for. So those things are important. Now, you've seen a big coin, which is a coin you're probably not going to look up on DEX Tools. So now we're going to go and have a look at Tremp. I think it's probably going to be this one. This is the biggest one. So what do we have with Tremp? Well, Tremp is a meme coin. Let's not cut no bones about it. It's a meme coin. Hang on, let me just check. I've just knocked the mic. Are we still on? Yep, testing 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, so Tremp. Go away. You've seen Bonk, one of the top 5 meme coins in the world. Tremp is nowhere near that. So how would I assess this coin? First of all, before we go any further, I just want to draw a very quick line in here. When you see that, and you see these previous points of resistance, and then you see this coin sitting here, that normally means it's finding support at that price. And that normally means, and you can't see it because it's off the screen, but if I make it a bit smaller and drag it across, you should see what I'm seeing now. So a coin will rip up and then find previous price action for support. There we go, you can see now. So that's a good sign for the coin. But anyway, that's aside. Now, look at the left-hand side. What can we see? Total supply, 99.98 million. Circulating supply, 100% in circulation. So, no inflation on this coin. Tick. Pool created, 28th of February. 3 months old. Not an old coin. Holders. For a coin with a $95 million market cap, it's got 30,000 holders. That is good. Liquidity, 2.5 million. That is also good. Okay, so market cap reasonable. Liquidity, reasonable. Holders, reasonable. Total supply, reasonable. What would I say next about this? There are different market caps for meme coins that traders follow. Nobody talks about this that I have seen apart from me. And I do it because I am not a professional trader. I'm very good at numbers, and that's where I draw the line. Look at the market cap sitting under 100 million. If it breaks 100 million, its next target is 150 million. If it breaks 150 million, it has a good chance to then run to 300 million. Those are not numbers I have pulled out of my trump. They are numbers which are based on how I have seen other meme coins grow and fall over the last few months. Well, actually not last, maybe the last year. So there are key milestones for meme coins: 5, 10, 50, 100, 150, 300, and then of course you have the big one, which is 1 billion. Those numbers are important because exchanges have thresholds. Some of them have a $5 million threshold, some have 100, some have 150. Alternatively, it could be a really trending coin, and one of the big exchanges will say, well, we'll take a flyer and we'll let you in. So this is at an inflection point for me for Trem. If it's going to get anywhere, it needs to break 100 million. Then it needs to hit 150 million, and then it will rip. But this coin is associated unofficially with Donald Trump because people will look at it and think, oh, it's a meme coin about Donald Trump, I'll buy it. So if it can get onto exchanges, and again, the psychology is very simple. If I sat Peter down and said, right, Peter, we've got 5 meme coins here: dog with hat, cat with hat, bonk, Pepe, and Donald Trump. Which one do you think Peter would buy if he'd never heard of any 5? He would buy Donald Trump because he would have some knowledge that there is an election going on and Donald Trump is running to be the president of America. Therefore, the coin might go up and he would buy it. If we took Trump out of the equation and said, right, Pepe, bonk, dog with hat, cat with hat, which one are you going to buy? He'd have no idea. No idea. Because there is no association. That's why these meme coins have associations with real world events and real world people. Look at the coins we've covered. USA coin, we've covered London coin, because you sit the average retailer down and say, pick a coin. They're not going to have the slightest foggiest idea, but they're sitting there and they've got the app open and they've got Bitcoin and they've got Ethereum and Solana and maybe some Litecoin for Tariq if it's Tariq. And they're going to say, right, I need to go and buy some of these memes, or memes as old people call them. What memes can I buy? Bonk, never heard of it. Pepe, oh, that was that frog. Don't like that frog. What else have we got? Donald Trump coin. Oh, yeah, I like him. Click. That's it. Simple as that. No investment intelligence used at all in a meme coin. That's why they would buy this. Now, back down to reality and what we were talking about. Down here, again, DEX T-score 99 out of 99. Check the audits. Contract has been verified. Honeypot, nope. The buy and sales tax normally is available on the website, so you can find that out. It's not mintable and you can't modify it. So, all in all, would this pass on the crypto warehouse test? Absolutely it would. You can also see down here in real time, you can see the buy and the sell orders on these tokens. So you can see that at this moment in time, there's a lot of buying going on for this token. But that's how I assess a token. I base it on the metrics, I base it on the audits, I base it on the DEX T-store, I base it on tokenomics are more important than pretty much anything else apart from maybe the team. So if you want to look at Donald Trump, or Kabir sends you a DM and says, check out Donald Trump, the first place I would go would be here. Then, as well as having all of that information on the left-hand side, across the top of the screen, you have the contract address, you have the website, you have Twitter, you have Telegram. Again, you have other things, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, right? So from here, you can go and look at everything you need to see about that token. That's why I prefer using this to something like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. It's got all the information I need to do a review. And other people use Deck Screener, and that's entirely up to them. I happen to use this. Okay, so that is 12:15. I said we would massively overrun, and we have massively overrun, but we should be bullish. I'm going to go onto my outro now. We should be bullish. We should be happy. For those of you that are not new to crypto, we have waited for these days for a very long time. 2017, 2016 was the first time I bought any Bitcoin, and I bought some Litecoin as well. So it's been a long time coming. Let's call it, for argument's sake, 7 years. It's been 7 years coming. If you're new to crypto, I said this yesterday, you have entered crypto during the history-making period of crypto. Why do I say that? 4 years ago, would crypto have been an election winner? No. 4 years ago, would we have ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum? No. 4 years ago, would we have, or would we consider to be a 67,000 Bitcoin a poor price because we've retraced from 73,000? No. We're at all-time highs. We have 2 ETFs. We have governments of the biggest free country in the world debating it over their election campaigns. We have Donald Trump accepting crypto for his election campaign. We have London offering ETPs, which is the British conservative way of offering an ETF. We have major nation states holding crypto in their treasury. We have all the major financial companies in the world wanting to buy Bitcoin. We've come a long way in 4 years. Now, I am not expecting the next 4 years to be as traumatic as the last 4 years, otherwise I will have no hair left. I would really like a couple of years where we don't have to fight and get aerated about a politician making a decision based on their politics and not the good of the individual, which we know won't happen, but we can still want it to happen. So that's where we are. We're in the process of history being made, the process of laws being introduced around the world for crypto to be accepted. And we want adoption and regulation. They're the 2 things we want. And interoperability. We might throw that one in there as well. So don't fret about some sideways movement. If we look at the 1 hour chart, crypto can look very scary. It's up, it's down, it's everywhere. If we zoom out, as you should always do, and you look at where crypto has come from, back here, where we were at $25,000, and I said, don't fret, we're going to go to 30, we're going to go to 40, we're going to keep moving. Look at where we've come. We can go all the way back to the bottom, 16,000. We've come a long way in a very short space of time. And you just need to appreciate that steps have to be taken. I talk about Bitcoin in steps all the time. We have steps. We go up, sometimes we go down, we go up, we go up, we have to retrace. That's how crypto works. It is not like that. So don't worry, have a good weekend. We are streaming tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Myself and the Oracle will be in the studio tomorrow. And you'll be able to see just how much hair I've lost in the last week. I will be back. He will do some charts tomorrow. If you can join us, feel free. But don't fret about crypto. It is going to get you where you need to go in the next 4 or 8 years, whatever your time horizon is. I have got some comments that I haven't read out. So very quickly before we go, let me check the comments. I always miss the comments. So let me just very quickly go and check the comments. It's great to get this news, especially on my free day. Exactly. This is a great moment, most definitely. 4 years I've been walking this road with most of the people around me just laughing and asking me how much I've lost. Patience. Exactly. Remember, the most dangerous man in the room is the one that sits in the corner and doesn't say anything. And that, my friend, is you, because you will have your day and they will go from laughing at you to calling you lucky. And that should be taken as a compliment, not an insult, because you make your own luck. Fretful nights when we're at $16,000. Are we ever going to recover? All of those things go through everybody's mind. When is Rumble session day? That's a good question, that Kabir. I need to stream on Rumble one day, but the problem is I'm likely to turn 60% of my audience against me when I get on Rumble, because I don't pull any punches, and that's the problem. Have a great day. Stay blessed. We're in the same team with the hair. Exactly. Right. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to go off and make a video now. If you can join us tomorrow, brilliant. We'll see you then. If you can't, not to worry. See you on Monday. Monday, we have 2 streams. We have this stream, and then we have the trading stream at 9 o'clock. So remember, we stream 8 days. We stream 8 streams a week, and we make about 5 to 10 videos a week. So all we ask of you is give us a follow, smash the like button and hit the follow button, because that's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So make sure to give us a follow. It is not cheap doing this in terms of time and money. So we would appreciate every one of you giving us a follow. And until tomorrow, take care. I'm going to run the stream for a couple of minutes because I need to pick up some user IDs from one of the channels. And I will see you in the morning. Take care.